like 10 to 6, which I can't complain because it's a lot better than we've had.
StreamYard says I'm live on my channel.
Woohoo! That's exciting. So we're streaming 3 different ways. That's the first time I've tried that.
Sorry, I had tech support coming in from the other room.
Yeah, I'm my tech
You all
support.
now. Hooray! Don't want to miss that hairdo off, Paula. Like I couldn't do without seeing the hair. It looks lovely.
It's beautiful. I'll tell you what's gonna make you laugh though. My husband bought me this lovely table to put everything on. And last night, when I finished, I put it down, and he put it down, and I said, "I possibly should leave it up." And he said, "No, I'll put it down. You'll be able to get up in them tomorrow." No, I can't. I can't pull the legs out. So I'm back on my little table again. So anyway, there you go.
Right. Paula, do you want to tell us what you are reading, and then I will tell you what I'm doing, and we'll jump to the comments.
Yes. Been reading
That's so good.
this. Got the special Waterstones edition because it is pretty. But yeah, this is my book club book. We'll be talking about this tomorrow, and I'm only at chapter 8, so I really need to read it. But if I decide to change it up, Sharon, you picked a number yesterday, one between 1 through 8.
Oh, pressure.
Yeah, you chose number 7. So if I decide to switch it up, I will be changing, and I'll be reading. Where is it gone? Where's the picture gone? There it is. I'll be reading.
That's such a good book too.
Psychic Teenage Blood Bath.
It is proper good. I mean, that's proper extreme horror. Just check the triggers on that one, darling. I don't think there's any that affect you, but
extreme horror novel. So
he's brilliant. That guy, Col Johnny. He used to be a screenplay writer, and he switched to novels. And it is very on the extreme. It is really explicitly gruesome. It's fabulous. And Ink Blood Sister, Ink Scrub Sister, or whatever it is. Thank you, love. I read that as an arc. When it about 8 months ago. It's absolutely brilliant. The library in that is like the same effect as the Beauty and the Beast library. It's beautiful. Cool. Great books.
Books within books are definitely like a win for me usually.
Books about books. Why wouldn't you read that?
If you're free at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, feel free to jump on and join into book club on my channel.
Oh, I will. I have read it. It's been a while ago, but I do remember it.
All right, just turn up for the vibes. That works too.
Got to get the vibes in.
I'm super terrible at book clubs at the minute. Like I love doing the Point Horror book club, and I just have hardly read any this year. I feel like reading has just gone.
Such a good cover this month, though, Amy.
I know. I do have that one as well. I don't have that many of the Unleashed. Maybe I do need to try and pick that one up because the Nightmare Halls are the ones that keep getting me because I want to read those in order. So. Because I haven't read the early ones, I did read them back in the day, but I want to start again at some point. So, whenever
the discussion on that on Saturday with Dustin was hysterical. If you get a chance to catch up on it, it was so funny. Just Shelley cracks me up anyway.
Shelley's Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it was just cracked me up. Absolutely, I was crying laughing at them. It was good.
Yeah, they know each other very well, so they've got a good rapport going between them. Shelley introduced me to him, and then he interviewed me about Mina, and he did this really funny thing where he superimposed us into a Mina book cover. I don't know how he did it. He got me to take a picture of me walking away, and then he made a Mina cover.
Oh, weird!
And he asked me such random questions. It was really funny, and he imagined all the characters really different to how I described them to. He was like, "I saw your descriptions," and he kind of imagined his own thing. It was really interesting to talk to him. And he's such
a nice guy, such a nice bloke.
Yeah, he really is. Let's see how the people in the comments are doing. I had a lovely day, thank you. I don't really know what I did, but yes, I went to the park. That was one of the things I did today. We had a little jaunt to the park. Oh, excellent. That sounds really good, Kirsty. I really enjoyed Lord of the Fly Fest. I hope you do. Oh, it hasn't happened yet, but I did interview Kendara Blake, and her Buffy book is coming out in April. So we were saying, she did say that she may be trying to come over to the UK at some point, so whether we could celebrate together our trilogy's ending. But I'm going to try and do something virtual with Kendara as well to celebrate our vampire series. Oh dear, I think.
Spill milk.
Oh, Kev's crying over spilt milk. Well, he's not actually crying, he's just spilt some milk. It's always chaos in our house, and this is when the child's gone to sleep. You know, there's no like.
That's because you
can't
spent
do
all
that.
day like this,
Hi,
darling, running
Courtney.
around.
Hello, thank you for joining us. No, Paula, what was that? Like, she's just quickly done her hair and she's gone, okay, I can show you my face now.
No, you can't see it.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Kiana.
Oh, you're
It's a
reading
good
the Wicked.
book.
Yes. I've heard lots of people are talking about that book. I hope you're enjoying it, Stephen.
I do love the legend of that. I think it's a fantastic, fascinating legend. I mean, that's up your way, isn't it? Yorkshire way, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know
Pendle's
much.
in Yorkshire, isn't it?
Possibly. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I've heard it. That's probably why I've heard of it, because it's probably down the road or something. But
It's one of
my
the most
geography,
haunted places in England, supposedly. Yeah.
really, it's not my strong suit, geography. I know very little
Suck
about
at geography.
anywhere it is.
I could get lost in my own town, so I'm with you on that.
I do sometimes. Hi, thank you for coming
Hi,
on.
Ellie.
Love everybody saying hi to each other. Hi, Marlos. Hi.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I do. We're going to do something. And I do like the idea of doing something in real life, like some kind of dress up. Yeah,
we should all plan a Whitby weekend and just go nuts.
Honestly, literally everybody I talk to about Whitby says that they want to do this. Like, I've got some author friends that want to. I've got like reviewer friends that want to. I think we just maybe need to have a coordinated effort and like put on an event somewhere in Whitby. And get loads of people along. I am there for the next Goth weekend, so I don't know if that's something that anybody else fancies. But
I've only been to one Whitby Goth weekend.
I've not been to any of them. I've always wanted to.
I also went to. By accident, we were because Chris's parents live in Filey, and they were holding like a steampunk weekend.
Oh, but that was fun.
We didn't know when we went to visit his parents, but we were like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it, and the bookshop have asked me to come and sign some books there, and I've been there a couple of times to do signings. It's really lovely.
Goth for life. I went to one of the first Whitby Goth weekends years ago in the 80s.
Oh, did you? I don't know how long
in the 80s.
Yeah, and I was a teenager and an adult in the 80s. But yeah, so I'd absolutely love it. Yeah, it was really good fun. I suppose it's even better now, isn't it?
Yes.
Lancashire, thank you, darling. I did think, I say I'm ungeographical, and I found that writers are as bad to organise as social workers. I was trying to, with a load of the UK indie authors that I'm on a Facebook group with, and there's not many of us reviewers, it's mainly authors. And then they wanted to send a card to another author. Oh my God. In the end, I had to take over and organise them. They were so bad. I said, I'll make the card. You send me the messages. We'll sort it out. Nightmare.
Imagine me wrangling 13 authors and their agents for the anthology.
I can't imagine how hard that was, darling, because it was a nightmare. And then it was like, have you posted it? Go away. I'll tell you when I posted it.
It is challenging to manage other people. I'm as bad myself though, because the stuff for the anthology that I still need to do, and I've just got such a long list at the minute. I'm like trying to juggle things and not doing a great job. So if I do anything and I haven't done it, it's just because I haven't done anything lately apart from edit books.
Organising people is what I do. Organising events is part of my job. So
maybe Sharon needs to organise the Whitby thing then.
Yeah.
Yes, see, Stephen could come. Yeah.
Oh, I love it in the Northwest.
I'm sweating.
Ooh, In the Lives of Puppets. That sounds...
TJ Klune.
Yes.
I've got that on my bookshelf. I haven't got to it yet. Is it good?
I haven't read any TJ Klunes yet, but
you need to.
Yeah,
so
I do.
Good.
Neither have I. I've got them all, and I haven't read any of them yet.
But I think my list, every sprint people seem to mention it, and I haven't actually even ordered any yet. I'm trying not to buy any books a minute because my last few haul videos, as you might have seen, have been a bit extreme. I just haven't been able to stop buying books this year and being sent quite a few. So I'm trying to just not this month. So it is painful. I keep seeing books and go, I want it, but no.
The last one I got was Rick Riordan's new release, their new Percy Jackson book. And I was like, that's it. I'm not...
Oh,
Wyatt agrees. Wyatt says hi. And after that, I was like, I'm not buying any more books. And then V. Schwab released Fragile Threads of Power. I'm like, no. But payday's just hit, so I'll probably buy it tomorrow.
I feel like certain authors have to be the exception to the rule, right? Pre-orders are an exception to the rule, and favourite authors. I think if it's in like your top 5 to 10 favourite authors, then you don't have to stick to a book buying ban. Because
This arrived today as well. My copy.
Yay!
Yeah, so it's early, isn't it?
Yeah, that's early.
13th, massively early. I'm gonna have to try and fling that into my October TBR, which is currently at about 19.
Which you can do easily.
I can do, but it's just like doesn't give me much room to maneuver to throw other things in. I've just had another 2 authors ask me to arc for them this month, and I'm just like, I need to not work. I need just to. Can you get a job just reading? That'd be great.
Some people manage it. I don't know how, but
some do. Ooh, Good Girls Don't Die by Christina Henry. That sounds interesting. I haven't read any Christina Henry books, but
I have read. I read one of. She wrote something about a tree. Something about a tree, a freaky tree.
No,
that lady might be able to tell me more. Was it Marla? Yeah, freaky tree one. Twisted Tree. The Twisted Tree, I think it's called. Yeah, it was quite good. She does really good spooky stuff.
Oh, okay. I think she done some romance as well. Or I might be thinking of another Christina.
I think that's Christina
The Ghost
Lauren.
Tree.
The Ghost Tree. Thank you, darling. So, I knew somebody would know. I love bookish people. But yeah, that was really good. That was really, really quite creepy. So yeah.
Excellent. Right. I'm going to add that author to my list as well of books that I'm not buying, I swear.
I think she might be YA, Amy. I'm sure that book.
Really?
I'm sure I bought that book from Charlie from Paper Orange.
Oh, cool. Okay. I definitely need to add it to my list then. Right.
She's also done a Lost Boys book, The True Story of Captain Hook by Christina Henry.
Oh. That sounds interesting.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm going to go to the first sprint. For anybody who's not been here before, we tend to do 40 minutes chat, 40 minutes chat. And then I was thinking how many 40 minutes, but I said 2 40 minutes and then 1 30-minute. So we'll see you on the other side. Let us know in the comments if you want to tell us what you're reading or doing. Hello. That was the first sprint. Hope everyone had a good one. How did you get on, Paula?
2 and a bit chapters. It's good.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's finally getting juicy now. I think things are happening. Things are well on the way.
Very good. How far are you into it now?
Chapter 10. So
Excellent.
good.
How about you, Sharon? How's the new book going?
Yeah, I'm only about 40 pages in because my husband came home just as we went into the sprint. So we were catching up on the day. And then we had a delivery. So I've got another book, you know. And so, yeah, about 40 pages in. So, yeah, it's good so far. Yeah, dialogue's really snappy. It reads kind of like a film, like a screenplay.
Oh, we'll
So,
go away again.
yeah, it's really good. Oh, Paula's gone invisible.
I don't know what's
no.
going on.
We've got half of your head again, Paul.
It's because I've got two. It's because I've got a webcam and the built-in one in the computer, and it keeps switching for whatever reason.
I don't understand technology.
Me
honestly.
either.
I think I didn't mention what I'm working on when I asked everybody else. So I'm on my Mina and the Cult edits, where I'm still working through what Ren wants me to do, and kind of it's a bit of a navigating act between sometimes an editor will tell me stuff and I'm like, I don't agree with the way you've suggested to fix it, but obviously you said it's an issue, I need to think about why. So it's interesting, like I agree with a lot of it, and then other stuff I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but maybe I need to do something else. So I'm just trying to now carve a path of like, what is the next round of this going to be? I don't think it's going to be too difficult, hopefully. But I'm on very limited time, so I just
when you got to get it back, is it like
soon?
Oh,
soon.
Really soon.
I think I've probably got about a month, hopefully, and I'm just going to try my hardest to get it done in that time. I feel like I've had a bit too much on this year writing wise, and I've maybe bitten off a bit more than I can chew, but it'll be fine. I've done this before. I can do it again. Oh, that sounds interesting. I really need to. I think I'm mixed up in my head with Christina Lawrence, so I don't think I've got the right person. So I need to figure out. Oh, that's another tree book.
Yes, actually, Kirsty's right, because I did put a comment on there because I had to wander off to do lasagna, so I was not. I'm not invisible. I am actually. Twisted Tree. I've read that one too. Rachel Burge is the YA author, not the other one.
Oh, okay.
So I got those confused in my head, but yeah. Trees. There was trees involved.
I really like the Rachel Burge books that I've read. I haven't read Twisted Tree, but I've read. Oh, what was the latest?
Waking the Witch.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Arthurian one. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
There's supposed to be a sequel coming to that, I think.
Oh, is there? That's good, because I read it at a similar time to The Lighthouse by Alex Bell, and they both got lighthouses in. So for a second, I was like, was it The Lighthouse? Was it Waking the Witch? Yeah.
Yeah, it ended on a kind of a cliffhanger. So it's like, you hope there's a sequel coming.
Doing hair. Oh, right. So definitely a bit of multitasking.
The audio book in it then, can't they?
Hi,
Ulysses.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. It was just the picture, just a nice picture of my shelves.
It happens. I mean, Paula and I have to disappear for children at various points, don't we?
Yeah, I had to disappear during his sprints because Wyatt wanted help brushing his teeth, and then when I came back in, he came in and popped on, and I don't know if anyone saw. He just came in.
No,
and like, hello.
Yeah, my husband is 46 though.
I mean, it kind of feels similar. Mine's, not far off that age, and
still always looking after men. No matter what age they are, they're all still children.
Yeah.
To be fair, you all know I can't complain about Kev. He does do a lot of things for me as well.
Yeah. Kev is awesome, but there are times. I'm sure you'll admit there are times where you're just like, it is like having another child.
He just spilled a glass of milk over the sofa.
Exactly.
So, enough said.
Okay.
Oh, Ordinary Monsters keeps coming up on my feed. I don't know whether that's
such a good book.
Oh, is it?
It's such a, but it is massive. It's massive. It's a chunker, isn't it?
All the C's.
Yeah, it's proper chunky, but it's such a good, proper, like Victorian Dickensian feel to it. With these kids with special powers. It's kind of like X-Men in Dickensian times. It's brilliant. It's really good. Yeah. And I think that's first part of a sequel, if I remember, or first part of a trilogy. But yes, I really enjoyed that. I read that last year, I think.
That
Yeah.
might be when I have to audiobook. I keep doing that with long books. I've just downloaded Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff, and it's like
That's
25 hours
chunky.
or
Oh
something.
my
The
god!
audiobook. And,
It's amazing, though.
I think it might take me years to listen to it, but
I'll get them on
good.
Kindle, like Ordinary Monsters. I'll got on Kindle. I'll read faster on a Kindle than I do on a book because I find holding, especially a hardback, really difficult
Mm.
sometimes. So I read quicker on a Kindle. So like Ordinary Monsters, I had a Kindle, and it only took me like just over a day to read it. Whereas I think if you've got the big book, after a while you're just like, ugh, and you got to put it down on you.
I do love reading on my Kindle, but then I have this growing part of my personality that wants to take pictures of the books and have them on my shelf. I think if I wasn't Instagramming and YouTubing, I probably would buy more stuff on my Kindle, but because of that, I like to have the visuals, and I like having the actual, like physical book in my hand.
Look at the size of it. It's massive.
Yeah, that is huge. That's why it's 25 hours long. Oh no. I feel like if Paula moves, she disappears.
I'll buy more on my Kindle than physical books. I've probably got, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 books on my Kindle. But I only buy physical books I want to keep.
Yeah.
Because I just haven't got the room.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a pretty. I like the purple one.
Yeah,
that's really pretty. I've never read that.
Read Empire of the Vampire. It's so good.
I think mine might be black with the black. Was that Forbidden Planet edition? I think mine might be the Forbidden Planet one.
No, this is the Waterstones one.
Oh, maybe.
It's black and gold.
I don't know what mine is. I think it has black edges, but
I might see if I can get on Kindle. That'd be the best option for me. I'd never be able to hold that.
Yeah, no, it's huge, isn't it? I hope
it was interesting reading it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I hope it's
cleaning and working.
Nice. I think I'm only being productive in sprints a minute because I feel like I really have to be. I also tend to wander if I'm not under a strict deadline. I love how everybody knows each other.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh, did I miss Lynn? Hello, Lynn. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Is she still reading her dirty book?
Oh yeah, Jen kept turning her camera off yesterday, Paula. I presume you saw it. It was like we were like, we know what she's reading.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Little Lion. Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to get to it at some point. Same. It's just the length. I don't know whether anybody else does this. I look at a long book and I'm just
but the thing is, I don't mind a chunky book so long as it doesn't drag.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's the difference, isn't it?
I can't stand a big book that. Hang on, I'm having.
Be careful, avalanche, bookalanche.
Pretty much.
Jen's still reading the day book.
Yay! Good for you, Jen. Good for you.
Which dirty book is it, Jen?
What was it? It was the Armentrout one.
Yeah, the new Jennifer Armentrout.
From Something of Ashes, wasn't it? I think.
From Blood and Ashes is the first one.
No, the new one.
Yeah. I can't
Something
remember what it is.
and I think it is, but anyway, yes. Yeah, me too. And they make great weapons, Ellie. So this is the thing. This is how you have to think. You have to have a couple of good, hefty hardbacks in case somebody breaks in and you can smack them with it.
Yeah. But then I'd be upset that I had hurt my books. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I could always buy another book, you know.
Don't hit people with your special editions. Got it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's the perfect size.
But this is a good size of book for me. I like a 300 to 400 page book is my optimum length.
Me too.
If they're any longer, I struggle a little just because they take me too long to read and I forget what happens at the beginning of them. So it's a me problem. It's not the book's fault.
Yeah, but like you say, if it's fast paced, it's not so bad, is it?
No,
but yeah,
I read Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and that is a chonker. And
I love that book.
It bored the crap out of me.
I loved it. It's proper descriptive. It's proper purple prose, isn't it? That you know, it's very, very overly descriptive, and I love that because it has a very gothic feel to it, and gothic fiction's my favourite. And but I love that. But yeah, if it's not quick enough for you, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Good for working out, multi-purpose tools.
Very true.
That's right.
Very
Who needs
true.
dumbbells?
I haven't actually tried working out. I have been known to use them as like steps for things, like if I need to raise my feet up for something, or like if my mouse needs to be higher for live streams, I use this really low table and I have to raise my mouse up. So yeah, the hardbacks come out for that to get them. It's the right level.
They're useful in a lot of ways, books, aren't they?
Yeah, I
They
used to
are.
use a load of
Yeah.
D&D compendiums to like
Yeah.
lift up my laptop.
See, it isn't just me. Long books are dangerous if you haven't got a really good amount of time. Like I used to do it when I was a teacher in school holidays. I'd like dedicate, and that's when I read more fantasy, because I could in a few days read a really thick fantasy. But now a fantasy book would take me like months to read and I'd totally lose it.
Yeah, me too, Ellie. I loved
I
it
had
too.
it at one point, and I think the length of it did make me unhaul it, but it's maybe one that I do need to get again.
It's very, very
going
good,
on?
and I loved Piranesi. I don't know if you've read Piranesi, but that's by hers too.
Oh, okay.
The way she writes is very surreal, and I love that. Piranesi, you don't really know what the hell's going on till halfway through. Love that,
I do
and
quite
but
like that.
yeah, so it's really, really good, but really out there, really pure fantasy. So yeah, love that.
I know that feeling at the
Long
moment.
day.
This is
Yeah.
me on my office days. If when I do 2 days in the office, I find that really like
Oh yeah, it's been a
grinds
difficult
out.
week for me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I loved
So
it.
many technical difficulties.
It's
It's
trying
fine.
you today.
It's just your
It's
turn,
me.
Paula.
It's me today. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
normally
me
get.
yesterday.
Ooh, good. Yeah, apparently I need to
Yes.
read the author.
And that's a really short book. It's only about 250 pages. It's actually a really short
Okay.
book. But
Do
it
you
is
think I
completely
like
surreal.
that? Even though I didn't like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
If you don't like her writing, no. If
See,
you
I
find her
don't. I
writing
don't. No,
difficult,
to be fair, I don't mind descriptive writing. It's just got to be done the right way.
this one is a
To
complete
me,
surrealist fantasy. Do you know what I mean? It is kind of completely out there. But I loved it. It was one of my favourite reads last year. But it's
Yeah,
quite a short one for fantasy. It's only 250.
descriptive. If it leads to atmosphere, I really like descriptive. Like Mia does that really well, like in her anthology story and in her novels, like really descriptive atmosphere, and it gives you all the sensory experience. And like Laini Taylor, I love that because you get the whole senses. I think if it's descriptive, just describing minutiae, that's what I get bogged down by.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I like the Stephen King advice: don't tell us grass is green. Tell the reader things that they don't already know. And I've taken that whenever I'm describing a table as wooden or like fabric as soft, I'm like, okay, I need to think about something that is actually going to offer something new to the reader. That's
You
one of
have
the
to
best.
be kind of you have to be able to take it in as a word, but also imagine it. So it
Yeah.
has to be. It's kind of has to be almost visual writing, doesn't it? So that the person who's reading it can visualize it. So that's the tricky bit.
Yes. Oh yeah, I've heard other people ask for that as well.
Queer eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I like both, but for different reasons. Sweet Valley High. I've never read
I
them.
watched the TV show, but I never read the books.
Kev, can you pop up? A little person saying, "Mummy, mummy, mummy." Can you hear him on the monitor?
Yeah,
I'm just going to
bless
go
him.
up. I'm going to follow. I'm going to sorry, I'm going to pause us at the Sweet Valley chat. I'll bring that up in a minute after the next.
Yeah, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. But yeah,
I'm going to pop us onto a sprint for 40 minutes, so I will vanish for a little while, but I will come back. I
hope
promise.
he's okay, darling.
Yeah, he will be, I'm sure. I'll pop us on the sprint, and then I'll see you all in 40 minutes.
Cool.
Completely lost my concentration there, and I didn't even know we were back. Let's just unmute everybody. I got quite engrossed during that sprint on outlining Serena in the colour edits, which is good chatting to Kev because he's reading it as I'm editing it and sort of saying, oh, you know, you could do this, you could do that. So I'm just knitting together all my thinking at the minute, which is really good. I feel like I know what I need to do. A lot of it, it's just I need to actually do it.
Good.
So yes, we're fine. We're okay. Still smiling. How's it going, Sharon? How's the reading?
Yeah, that went quick, didn't it?
Yeah, I know.
That went really quick. I went to make it, and well, I didn't make a drink. I needed to go to the bathroom, but and I sat back down, and I just completely lost. It's very good. Book's really good. Really enjoying it, and it feels kind of old fashioned. It's quite weird, really, but it is really quite grim.
Remind us, which one is it you're reading?
Hell House.
Oh yes, yeah,
By Richard Matheson. Yeah, it is a contemporary horror. So, but you know, they're building it up at the moment, but
When
I
was
think
it
it's going to
published?
get very good. I don't know. You know, it has a real kind of old feeling to it, like you're reading an older kind of book. You know what I mean? But so it was originally published in 1971.
Okay.
That's why it feels like that.
Yeah.
And and it's been updated and renewed. It says renewed. Not quite sure what that means in publishing terms. Renewed in 1999.
It sometimes means some things that haven't aged well have come out, and I've seen that on some books where they've brought it up to modern terminology and stuff like that.
It was quite a debauched place, almost like, you know, the Hellfire Club. So it's but the dialogue is really good. So much dialogue that if it reads like a screenplay. So yeah, I'm enjoying it though.
I quite like a lot of dialogue done well. I think that I can sort of fill in the gaps.
Yeah, it feels like he's made the characters really, they're full-bodied, the characters. So after a while, he's not even mentioning who's speaking, but you know who's speaking just by the tone. And I think that's quite difficult to do in a book that's heavily dialogued. So yeah, it's really good. Enjoying it. Yeah. How about you?
How about you, Paula? How's the reading going?
That sprint was a bit of a doozy. I went to make juice, and then I had to have a bathroom break, and then just Chris and Bram needed to talk to me about all the things apparently in that sprint. So yeah, I only got a chapter read.
My husband did that in the first one.
Yeah. It's like, can't you see I am busy? No, you must talk to me.
Do your family read much? I feel like that's a non-reader thing to do. My family sometimes growing up, I'd be like really intensely obsessed, and they're all kind of readers to some extent, but
Chris used to be a really big reader, but I think he's fallen out of the habit of reading, and it's like he'll try, but I mean we've been together 15 years now, and he's finished possibly 2 books. So yeah,
Kev's read the books I've written basically,
Yeah.
but multiple times. So he's probably read 60 books because he's read each of the Mina books like 20 times, plus, you know, other stuff I've written in between.
My husband's more visual, so he's on YouTube. Do you know, or he's you know, or watching TV more than I do. Do you know what I mean? So I yeah, I think he's just more of a visual taker in of information, whereas I always going to prefer to pick up a book than do anything else. It's just the way you take in information in it.
Well, the way you read and the way you see things, it's like you've stated that, like, you know, when you read a book, it's like watching a movie anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And it annoys me, you know. It's really difficult if I watch something and it's not how I think it should be. I can't watch it. It's like a song. If I hear a song, because I see words, I see images when I hear music. If the words are wrong, I can't listen to the song because the words are wrong. That's not what I'm singing. But that's, you know, my neurodivergent brain kicking in there. But yeah,
you're neurospicy. It's all good.
You're spicy.
I like that. I think I just like consuming stories in
Me
all
too.
different ways.
All forms. So just gimme.
Yeah, so I play computer games, I watch TV shows, films. I love going to the theatre, although I've not managed that much recently. I love going to the cinema, and love reading. So I think for me, it's kind of all of it. And writing just is the extra like cherry on the top because I get to actually create the stuff that I'm reading, although it takes a lot longer than you'd want it to.
See,
Sometimes
you know how like actors can't like watch themselves,
Mhm.
and you obviously get that like secondhand like cringe thing when you see people reading your book. Can you read your own book other than like doing it for edits and things?
It's difficult because you can't change it once it's in a book. So I've read Mina 1, and I was quite relieved actually because there wasn't anything big. There were little things where I was like, oh, I could have described that better. I'm however many years on with my writing, 4 or 5 years on from some of that. So I think I probably improved in some ways, hopefully. So yeah, there was that, but I did really enjoy reading it. I sat like, I'm still reading it actually quite slowly to kind of check continuity and stuff. But I was thinking like, if I hadn't written this, I would really, really, really enjoy this book. And having written it, I enjoy it because I know what all the twists are, and I kind of know what's coming because I wrote it. But yeah, it's weird. I know some authors don't read their stuff at all. And I think because I'm writing a series, I have had to, but I don't mind it as a result. Whereas I interviewed Kendara and she wrote a new novella recently for Anna Dressed in Blood for the new American edition, and she didn't reread the books because she said even though she wrote Anna like 13 years ago, it was all still there. Like she knew everything she needed to know, and I mostly do, but I just wanted to check some stuff. I was like, what did I actually say? Like little things. Like, in the first book, I said like how many years ago her dad left. He sort of moves back to America from the UK, and I couldn't remember how many years it was. So it's stuff like that, like. And even little things like who was sleeping where at the end of the book, like
who's in what room?
Well, yeah, are they just sharing a bed or like always sharing a bed? And it's YA, so I think the readers have to. Some of that what I imagine is happening isn't actually on the page.
I've just beta read a second in a trilogy, and went back to the author and said, "You realise you've brought a character and you killed off in the first one."
Oh.
So he'd forgotten that he killed because they're twins, and he'd forgotten which twin he killed. So and he went, "Oh blimey, yeah, you're right."
You can kind of get away with that with twins though, because you can do the point horror thing, like, it was the other twin all along.
It was the other twin.
Dun, dun, dun.
You actually killed the nice one. It was the evil one that like is running around and pretending to be the nice one. Sorry.
That's what beta reading is good for, isn't it? You pick up on those continuity errors that you haven't picked up yourself. So, but yeah, it did make me laugh when I read it. I thought, oh God, come back from the dead. Well done.
I think I am quite meticulous about stuff like that. I'm sure there is some stuff. I bet somebody at some point will say, excuse me, you said that Jared's eyes were like hazel green in book 1, and by book 2 they've changed to just green. Like, that's not right.
Yeah,
like,
you've done very well.
Thank you. Tell me if you ever notice. UCLan might let me change it if there's any continuity errors. Lots of people have checked it, so I'd like to think it's kind of robust, but you never know. I'm just going to check the comments. I think they've gone pretty quiet. There's lots of people watching, but they're just obviously listening to us talk, which is fine.
Ooh, writing stories secretly.
That sounds interesting. I think when I was a teenager, I'm not sure how old you are, Precious, but when I was a teenager, I did some of that. Like, not necessarily that I was keeping it from anybody. Like, I didn't want to talk about it, but I just liked the fact that it was mine. Like, especially poetry. Yeah. I'd sometimes just disappear and write a bit of poetry, and I never let anyone read it. I don't think my parents even knew probably that I wrote some poetry.
I think that's just part of being a angsty teen. I think.
Yeah,
a bit of moody poetry.
I still write poetry. I never let anyone read.
Ooh,
it's a way of journaling for me. I use it as a journal. So it's just for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like writing, people often get quite hung up on like, I don't know whether this first draft's going to be any good, I don't know if it's ever going to get published, but that's like the beauty of the main good thing about being in that position is that it isn't for anyone. You're not in any rush to turn something out for a deadline. You can just write the thing you really want to write and take your time over it.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. I did a lot of published, but you don't have to.
I did a lot of creative writing when I was a teen. So it's like, it's, you know, I could sit there and describe something and, like, you know, describe. So, and people would read it and say, oh, it feels like I'm there, or whatever, like teachers or things like that. But me reading really descriptive writing, I'm just like, get on with it, come on.
You don't always like to read what you can write. I sometimes
No,
read
that's so
books and
true.
think I'm so concise. Like sometimes I think I could be more descriptive. Like I have to go back and flesh out the descriptions. It doesn't come supernaturally. But when I get into the groove, I really enjoy doing it. But it doesn't, like in a first draft, I've not necessarily described everything I need to. Like Laura Stephen was saying that she basically writes dialogue.
And then builds around it.
Yeah, and then her so I think she writes a chapter and then like redrafts that chapter as she goes. So she would then go back through and add all the description and stuff. And I'm a bit like that. My dialogue comes, I can hear the characters talk in my head, which sounds wrong, but I can hear their accents and
I
stuff.
hear
So
all the voices in my head.
yeah. But so the dialogue doesn't often change that much. Like particularly Libby, like she says stuff to me when I'm writing, like all the time. She's like, I can hear her little side snipey comments about what's going on. But it's the stuff in between the dialogue that I have to work on a lot.
It's the opposite for me. I write the description first and then add the dialogue, because it's all about setting the mood, because the majority of stuff I'm writing is horror. So I'm setting the mood and then I'm throwing the dialogue, and then I'm putting the dialogue, and then the people come into it. But then again, I only write for myself, so it doesn't really matter really whichever way you do it, does it?
I don't think it matters in general. Like literally all the writers I talk to do, because I always ask them that question, how do you write a book? Like Melissa Welliver plots so rigorously that there's no room for kind of much of anything else, and Bryony Pierce does the same. A lot of us are like, me and Cynthia are kind of similar. Cynthia Murphy does like plotting and pantsing like together. We do a bit of both. And then some people completely pants. Like I know Naomi Gibson is a bit of a discovery writer. Like she kind of just starts. She's got an idea and a premise, and she like runs with it.
Who was it that deleted like the whole like
Ashlyn? Is it Ashlyn?
Yeah, Annalise.
Annalise.
Just deleted the entire like you know. Was it first draft?
I'll do that. Yeah. I'll do that. The whole first draft I'll delete and start again.
No.
I can't remember enough of it. I would panic too much. I have to have. I love that moment where I'm like, oh, I've got to the end. I don't ever write the end for some reason, because I think at that point I don't think I finished it. I love having a first draft that I can then improve, and some of it does stay. Like some of my writing, the first time it comes out is decent. A lot of it isn't and needs work, but I don't know. I think there's enough of the good stuff in there that I wouldn't delete it.
I think
it's
also
reviews.
it's like
if I do reviews, my first review always gets deleted. It's the second review I publish. You know, I send out. I always write the review and then delete it and then do it again, because I've got all the thoughts in my head then, and it just comes more natural, I think. But everybody's different, like.
Yeah, I suppose.
I pour that out in writing, Sharon. So when I write reviews and stuff like that, it all comes out in a big flood, and then I go back and move it around. But I think because I'm quite visual and wordy, I need the words to be there in front of me, I think, to play with. I think otherwise
I'm the same.
Yeah, I make notes as I'm going. All core graphic novel, no page numbers.
Oh, it's so weird, isn't it? When graphic novels, I love the fact that Junji Ito ones and the longer ones quite often.
Did you say which graphic novel you're reading, Ellie?
I don't remember Ellie mentioned that. Let us know what you are reading, Ellie. We'd love to know.
Going up in the comments.
I need to do a bit more graphic novel reading. I haven't done those this year, and I'm loving the Junji Ito ones and like the Preach ones. Seeing that you've got that, Sharon, I'm like, I need to pick Preacher up again, because I didn't actually finish it. I've read quite a few of them, and the same with Saga. I haven't actually finished. Yes, yeah. I think other people's versions of plotting, like Melissa's idea of plotting it all out, sounds great, but I just can't do it. Annalise's sounds terrifying, and I can't do that either. Like, I think it's just whatever works. I'm
whatever works for you.
I want to be, but it's just the process. I've accepted now that I will have some chaos and some stuff that I'll write myself in a corner, because that's just how I go. Yeah, I think they're so great, aren't they? Like, they're versatile in that if you're busy, you can pick one up and, you know, read it quickly.
I recently bought Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell.
Oh yeah, that's
like
lovely.
The perfect season to read it, but you know, I've piled a lot of things on my TBR that I'm like, I must read.
Yeah,
it's very.
I've only read one graphic novel. I read it last night. First one ever.
Which one was it, Sharon?
So Saga. There's the one.
Did you like it?
Night. I did, yes. It was
Good,
good.
'cause
The
it's
story was
amazing.
good. Yeah, story was really, really good. And the pictures didn't put me off, so that was good.
Yeah, that is
I
good. that
haven't
it
read
did
much manga
start.
either, Courtney. Sorry.
Neither have I. No.
I've read real extremes of manga, so I've read super cute things like Fruits Basket and Hanakimi, which Hanakimi is this really wholesome, like girl wants to, it's like she's the man, girl wants to play for a football team, I think it is,
Mhm.
at a boys' school, so she pretends that she's a boy, so there's all these like hijinks of, you know, I want to kiss this boy, but I'm dressed as a boy and he likes girls and I'm pretending to be a boy, and it's like, it's all this, but they're really young,
Sweet.
so it's really wholesome and cute. And then I read the Junji Ito, which are really dark. What I like about manga is that because it comes from a different culture and heritage and way of thinking, way of writing, I love how they surprise me. Like even the kind of romantic cutesy ones,
Yeah.
we find certain ways, I think, like the Western sort of storytelling structures and like characters and tropes, we're just familiar with them, aren't we? But
Mhm.
then you read what's generally Japanese, if you're talking about like the traditional manga, it's just a different mindset. Like there's a series, oh gosh, there's so many, I'm gonna have to dig them out now because I can't remember, but there's Stepping on Roses is like a romance one that's very like 50 Shades of Grey, but not as
Not as
like,
bad.
it's like, yeah, well, but it's like billionaire wish fulfillment, girls dating him type
Oh,
thing.
right.
And it's just really, because it's from a different storytelling tradition, it just kind of reads a bit differently, hits a bit differently, and I really
And
like
the
that.
imagery is beautiful. I think the imagery is beautiful in manga.
Yes,
Um,
there's one called, oh, I'm going to have to take pictures of them because I can't remember now. There's something about a goddess. I'm going to have to do a little thing, I think, of my favourite manga because it's been too long since I've read them. Ah, excellent.
Yes.
I don't think I've actually read like any of the Claudia stuff. I really love Into the Vampire. I've read some of the other ones, but that one in particular, just I think maybe because of the time I read it, it was just exactly what I needed.
Have you ever read any of Anne Rice's smutty stuff?
Yes, I
I
read.
haven't. I have
It is
it.
mind blowing, isn't it? I
I
was like, is
haven't,
this the
but I
same
haven't-
woman? How is this the same woman who wrote some of my
read,
favourite books?
I read The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty, I think it's called, and I picked it up in a Barnes and Noble in America. I was like, oh, Anne Rice, this sounds good. She's done a Sleeping
Yeah,
Beauty retelling. And I
I love
started reading
Anne
on holiday,
Rice.
and I was like, nobody told me she wrote smut.
I was
then-
gobsmacked.
Did she write it before she found God again?
I don't know.
I presume so. Well, I don't know.
Because Interview with the Vampire is so much. That is why I think I haven't fully engaged with the Vampire Chronicles, just because a lot of the religious stuff doesn't resonate with me personally. So that's what I found a bit harder, particularly. I can't remember. Is it Memnock? I got a bit lost with that, and
I got through Memnock, but when it got to the Vampire Armand, and it started to talk about like little boys being touched, I was like, nope.
Okay. I haven't read that one, so yeah, definitely not going to read that.
No more, thank you.
No, I think it's quite intrinsically tied, isn't it? The idea of vampires and life and death, and if that means religion for you, I see the connection, but it just doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah,
like,
I don't see it that way either.
That's not why I need
continue.
vampire stuff.
Assassination Classroom. That sounds fabulous.
It does.
See, I really want to read Spy Family. Everyone's been everyone I know that's read Spy Family, and that's some manga.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Oh,
70.
That sounds
I'll have to
amazing.
try that. I'll have to try that next. Well, I'm independent, but I did. To answer Jen's question, I did. I loved Saga. I did, and I'll probably buy the others. It was a great story.
The Sleeping Beauty ones are a wild ride. Even if you've read Smart,
They
I think
are
they're
wild.
quite eye-opening, and they're quite. If I'm remembering them right, are they quite surreal? Like
they are
dream
proper.
I've not read it, but I know the plot points of the book, so I'm like, yeah.
I've never read them all the way through. I've never read them all the way through because it's not my thing. That kind of thing.
Yeah, same.
I think
I read the first one and went, yeah, that's a lot.
I was just reading it in shock, thinking, is this satirical? And in a minute, it's going to switch. Do you know, I thought she was maybe taking the mickey. I didn't realise it was supposed to be serious.
You're reading it thinking, as you're reading it, am I having a stroke right now? Is this what I'm actually reading?
Is this the real world? Is
Yeah.
this reality? I don't know,
It's
but
that thing, isn't it, of people like changing so much over their lives and their mindset and their beliefs. And I think that her fiction really does show that. I'd love to know where it fits
Massive.
timeline-wise.
massive difference. Yeah,
Yeah, interesting because, like
I'm an
Paula,
atheist, man.
Same.
there's stuff in that obviously that is just an instant. I'm not going to read it, but I totally get that. We have little boys, therefore it's kind of like too close to the bone for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
I love
Hooray.
religious
Tale of
fiction.
the Body
religious
Thief
cultic
was my
fiction.
favourite one. Of
Which one,
Anne
sorry?
Rice's. The Tale of the Body Thief.
Oh,
Do you know what? I don't think I've actually read that. Where does that fit in? Is that a standalone or?
No, it's after. It's before Memnock. I think it's the fourth one, I think.
So I've read Memnock. I wonder. I did read them as part of an Anne Rice book club, and I think some of them I might have missed because if I missed that month,
It's
I was
basically
reading them quite slowly.
it was Lestat and is it Richard who's the head of the my brain has stopped working. It's like, yeah, the humans that kind of like, watch over.
Yeah.
So it's basically Lestat and his story and
Yeah, I've
what
definitely
happens
not read
between them.
that. That's so funny.
It's one of my favourites. I love it. Yeah, David, that's it.
I managed to miss a good one. Spy Family is coming up again. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is interesting seeing people's perspectives, like whether you agree with them or not. I think to get an insight. Yeah, Body Thief is 4. So why have I read Memnock? I've made a mistake. Evidently, I need to remedy it.
I've just missed that month, darling. Perhaps you were busy that month.
And do you know what? I think it was because they took me 2 months to read generally because I'd read them in between other things. So I think that I'd sometimes managed to catch up, but obviously that one I just like slipped and missed it. Yeah, I mean, what was that? Like for 30 and 30. And then,
she read 70 mangas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really impressive.
I'm currently ahead,
that
I
was
think.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it the 6th today? And I'm on my 7th book.
Yeah,
So I'm ahead of myself. But I will slow down in a minute. It's just because they've just been so good I'm down.
I'm just looking how many pages. Honestly, my little bookmark thief is like working this week because once again, my bookmark's vanished. I think I've read about 60 pages of this, and that's all I've read this month, 60 pages of Rosie's book. And it's really good. It's just that I haven't got time to read.
It is only the 6th of October, though, lovely.
It is. So I'm averaging 10 pages a day. That's not a great record.
Yes, but
That's
you're
better
also
than now.
writing as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, parenting
and having, and lifing.
Yeah,
I have to
I'm
remember,
not doing as much of life as I should be. But right, I'm going to pop us onto our sprint because I've just noticed what time it is. It is getting late. So let's do a 30-minute sprint. Let us know in the comments. Ellie's just saying about. I'm quite happy to talk about Anne Rice, but I always think of myself as an Anne Rice fan, but I think that I need to read a lot more because I haven't got a patch on like the whole, like the Witcher stuff she's written. Everything is just incredible.
I do want to. I want to read the Witcher stuff, but that's mainly because I want to watch the TV series. The TV series looked really good. I did watch like the first couple of episodes of the Interview with the Vampire thing, but they changed too many things for me.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I think I will, but I have that feeling whenever they do, they touch something that I know really, really well. It's difficult, isn't it?
Just they made Lestat a pimp. Not Lestat. They made Louis a pimp, and I'm like, that don't no.
No, that's weird.
No. I'll be watching Halloween after this, the original from 1976. So that's more my kind of viewing.
Yeah, I need to watch that this year, I think.
Jamie Lee Curtis. What a woman.
I am going to put us on the next sprint. So we will catch up in half an hour. And that's it. We've done the last sprint. Just to mute everybody. I had a good session of editing. I'm glad it ended actually at that point because I could just feel my concentration starting to go. And it's quite late for me anyway. So yeah, I think this is probably a good time. How about you, Paula? How did that one go?
Good. I mean, because I'm taking notes for book club, it's taking me longer to read it. But yeah, things have happened.
Sharon knows what they are.
Yeah. So it's good. I'm liking it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It sounds really interesting. I think you had me at library books.
Books.
Side book.
Magic books.
Magic books.
Yeah. How's yours, Sharon?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a bit. My eyes. I had like, I had any sleep last night, so my eyes are starting to feel a bit blurry now. So it's probably time for me to stop reading.
Sounds like it's bedtime for bedtime's all around.
It's bedtime.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. I don't like it when stuff gets changed too much.
Yeah.
I think it depends. If it's consistent with the character, like what you just said about Louis, Paula, I was like, I don't really see that.
It's like people had issues with him being like, them using a black actor, and I'm like, that's really not an issue whatsoever. Now turning someone who's supposed to be sweet, lovable, innocent, and you're seeing the world through his eyes into a pimp. No.
Well, isn't that the whole point of Louis' character, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That he's really sheltered and he's always lived with his family and he hasn't seen anything of the world, and Armand gives it that, but it's like, is the cost worth it for him? Like, that's his whole central character. To strip that out is interesting.
The meow always startles me, so I agree.
It made me jump on the second. I was ready for it this time, but
yeah, I was ready this time.
It made me jump.
Early night, I agree, Kirsty. Yes, we all need to get some sleep. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think casting at this point, like, choose the best person for the part. Like when I went to see Cursed Child after reading all those books, and I kind of imagined Hermione as white, and then the actress was black that they chose, and she was absolutely amazing. And that, like, even after reading so many books, I could like set that aside in my mind. Just
with
the
with the Cursed Child, it's when they turned the trolley witch from the train into like a ninja assassin. I'm like, what? No. That.
I quite like the idea of a ninja assassin selling cake. I quite like the idea of that.
It's just like, anything from the trolley, dears, and then
a knife.
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
What do you need? Take out a hit on somebody, or would you want a chocolate frog? There you go. See, multitasking.
Yeah, I don't know. I quite like that. I think I can't really remember that, to be honest. I think the problem is with theatre shows, you watch them once, don't you? It's not like a book where you can reread it. I think I've like a lot of it's just disappeared from my head. I think they did a book of it though, didn't they? So maybe I need to read the book.
Yeah. I've been to the theatre for ages. I haven't been for ages.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken Nathan some pantos over Christmas, but I haven't been to.
I love a panto. Oh,
the last thing I went to see in the theatre was Wicked, and that was a while ago.
What was it? Yeah. I don't remember which one I took him to last year, but we saw a couple, and one of them they did Goo Goo Dolls, Iris, like, it was Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast were dancing, and they couldn't use any of the Disney music for obvious copyright reasons. But instead of dancing to Tales all the time, they danced to Goo Goo Dolls, and I just sat there like, Nathan, you do not understand like how great this moment is.
Yes.
And they sang it to each other. It was beautiful.
Aww.
And then he loved there was a silly slapstick bit where they'd got a paddling pool full of foam, and they just kept pushing different characters into it, and he said that was all he remembered. And I was like, Goo Dolls. He remembered foam, paddling pool. Levels, I'm glad it's been useful. I'm doing lots of them at the moment now because I've got this shiny new version of StreamYard. I'm also doing the
unlimited lives.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. Yeah, I'm doing Ladder M's Gothtober one tomorrow, and then Olivia's on Sunday. There's details on their channels, but if you search Gothtober, if you're interested, you can find it. And then I'm doing my own on, Kev, is it Tuesday? Tuesday, my next one. So yeah, look out for them if you want to join in and watch along. Try which gets full
She really does.
And on that note, I think that's everything. Thank you two for coming on. As always, it's been lovely. Thank you, everybody watching in the comments. Hopefully, we'll see you all on a live stream soon.
Have a
Bye.
lovely weekend,
Bye.
everyone.